Okay, I'm gonna blow your mind in this video, depending on whether you care about this or not. It's like whenever I first learned about it, I was like, whatever, like whatever. I guess it's decently cool. Okay, so let's say we have this triangle right here, and it's oh man, come on. Okay, we have this triangle right here, and we got C, and we got B, and we got A, and we know that C squared equals B squared, A squared. Sorry, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter, but we know whatever. You got to do it right. A squared plus B squared, right? And we know that our, SOHCAHTOA, SOHCAHTOA, we got sine is equal to sine of theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. It's equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Let's say this is angle theta. That's angle theta. Opposite over hypotenuse, which is B over C. B over C. And we know that cosine of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse. A and C. A, C. Now, I want to show you something cool. What happens if we square sine of theta? Well, if we were to square this side, we got to square this side. We got to square this side. And this would then be sine squared of theta. Sine squared of theta is equal to B squared over C squared. Cool. That's okay. Cool. So we got this thing. Okay. It's pretty nice. It's cool. But what are you trying to show me? Well, let's say we squared cosine next. Cosine of theta. What happens when we square cosine of theta? Well, cosine of theta is going to be squared. It's just going to be cosine of theta squared, which is equal to A squared over C squared. Okay? You getting it now? What happens if we add? Cosine squared? Plus sine squared. Well, we have sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta is equal to this squared. This right here is equal to B squared over C squared plus A squared over C squared. What happens when we add these? They have like denominators. So then we have this is then equal to B squared plus A squared over C squared. Because you don't add the denominators together. You just add the top. But B squared plus A squared is equal to C squared. To C squared, that's what the sine of theta squared plus cosine of theta squared. That's what this is equal to. So then it just becomes C squared, because A squared plus B squared equals C squared over C squared. But that just equals 1. Okay, so yes. So sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta is just equal to 1. That's what I'm just trying to show you. And this is pretty cool because if you were to say, well, let's say you knew sine theta. If you knew sine theta, and you had a function like this, like somebody gave you sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta is equal to 1, and you knew sine theta or you knew cosine theta, then you can just just do some algebra and solve for the other one. So that's pretty cool, and some other unit circle stuff. Bullcrap. Not bullcrap. Anyways, yeah. So sine squared plus cosine squared is equal to 1. Bye.